Hello and welcome back to the Brain Injury Insider, where we explore the latest research, science, and advocacy around brain trauma, recovery, and prevention. Today, I want to discuss a recent study with potentially wide implications for anyone who plays soccer, even at the amateur level, and even for those who have never been diagnosed with a concussion. Hitting a soccer ball repeatedly might damage your brain, even if you have never been knocked out, have seen stars, or been diagnosed with a concussion. In one of the largest studies yet to look at the effects of soccer headers in non-professional players, here's what researchers found. Players who had repeatedly headed a soccer ball showed changes in a part of the brain called the gray-white matter interface, an area located in the orbitofrontal region of the brain, an area just behind the eyes. When the skull is struck, and then the brain bounces around in the interior of the skull, this region of the brain is particularly sensitive to injury. The brain changes found on testing were related to memory and learning. Importantly, many of these players had no history of ever being diagnosed with a concussion. Researchers concluded that the damage to the brain is cumulative and related to the repetitive hits a player sustained. Players, coaches, parents, and clinicians, we need to rethink safety thresholds. Just because someone hasn't been concussed doesn't mean repeated head impacts are harmless. We may need to revisit guidelines around how often players should head the ball, especially in practices or drills. We need to track cumulative exposure, and consideration must be given to reducing headers in training and using softer balls. Healthcare providers should be aware that cognitive symptoms or subtle deficits might be related to repetitive sub-concussive impacts, even without a concussion history. In short, this study adds important evidence that heading a soccer ball is not risk-free. Even without concussions, repeated head impacts may produce brain damage. Should soccer be banned? No, but it's time to take the risk of heading the ball seriously. If you're a player, track how you feel. Don't ignore changes in your memory, in learning, in your mood, or your reaction time. We need longitudinal studies that follow players over years or decades to observe real-world outcomes. If you want to help change the conversation around brain injury, please share this information and consider subscribing. That's all for this week on the Brain Injury Insider. Please join me next week as we continue to uncover the hidden truth about brain injury and its impact on millions of lives.